All right. Let's get into Seller Central, guys. This is where the magic happens. This is where all the money is made with Amazon FBA. And it does look a little bit overwhelming at first, but I promise you guys, it's actually not that bad. And we're going to go through all the things that you're going to be able to need, that you're going to want to need most. And we're going to talk really quickly actually about how to sign up for a Seller Central account. And so there's two types of Seller Central accounts. There's professional and there's individual. Professional charges you $39.99 a month, so obviously it's better for you to choose this one if you plan on selling more than 40 items a month. You know, we sell tens of thousands of units a month, and so obviously the professional seller plan for $39.99 makes a lot of sense. The individual plan makes very little sense for anyone. If you're in this course, you're obviously planning on selling more than 40 units a month, and so there's no reason to choose this. They charge you $1 per item that you sell fee, plus referral fees and everything else. So really, none of us are going to choose this. Everyone's going to choose professional. And a question that I used to get all the time is, Kevin, should I wait to sign up for my Seller Central accounts until when my inventory actually arrives? The answer is absolutely not. You can sign up for a professional seller account today, right? You could pay the $40 a month for 6 straight months, right, of having no inventory and nothing, and then your inventory arrives 6 months later, for example, and then you can literally just send one email to Amazon seller support and say, hey, I didn't have any inventory for this 6 months. Can you please refund all of my $40 charges? And they're going to refund 100% of that money every single time. I've done it myself many times, and thousands of my students have done the same thing. So sign up for a professional seller account. If they charge you, right, just ask for a refund once your inventory arrives, right? Whether it's a month later or 3 months later or 6 months later or a year later, it doesn't really matter. Amazon will always refund it if you don't have any inventory in your account while you're paying it. So every one of us is going to sign up as a professional, right? We're going to fill in our information when we sign up as a professional. With our new handy dandy snazzy LLC, we're going to sign up as that, right? You don't have to have your Seller Central name the same as the name of your LLC, right? It can be different. You can call your LLC Kevin David Inc., and you call your Seller Central account, right, Awesome Stuff Products, or that's like that's literally the worst example I've ever thought up in my entire life. But they don't actually have to match, right? What is important for it to match, and we'll go into this more later on, is that your Seller Central name, right, the name of your store. And we can actually look really quickly at like an Amazon store just so you guys kind of see what I'm talking about. So this is what an Amazon store is, right? Oh, you guys are seeing that I just ordered scissors. Let's just type in balls. So what you can see here is all of these. Oh, this is an Amazon device. I was like, how's that coming up as balls? What you'll see is the name of the actual seller right here is Click and Play, right? And so that does not necessarily mean that their LLC is called Click and Play. It could, but it doesn't mean that. What's important is you want your Amazon Seller Central name, which you set up when you sign up for your account. You want that name to match what you trademark. And so they probably are going to trademark like Click and Play products, right? Like the actual word mark, which again, we'll talk about later on, so don't worry about it. But what this allows you to do is it gives you protection if your Seller Central name matches your trademark. If people are trying to hijack onto your listing, again, which we'll talk about in a little bit, it just makes things easier. When you register for a trademark, it allows you to get brand registered. It allows you a lot of protection against, scummy people who want to do you wrong on Amazon if your Amazon Seller Central name matches your trademark. So don't worry about any of that right now. Remember, we're going to go through the entire course before we actually do or implement anything so we don't make mistakes. But it's just something to keep in mind that you want your Amazon Seller Central name to match what you're going to eventually file a trademark for to protect yourself from people that are trying to do you wrong. So this, guys, is Seller Central. This is actually a live account that I used to have. We had a couple of test products in here. This is going to be the Seller Central account that is actually going to be used throughout the entire course. You see, it's Perspective Reality, which is also the name of our trademark. Which is not the name of our LLC. And so we see that we actually have some stuff live here. We're selling a conversion ping pong table set, which actually does incredibly well. We're selling a 24-inch round color spinning prize wheel, and we're selling some Moscow mules and some other stuff that are out of stock. And so this is Seller Central, guys. This is what you're going to see every single time you do log in. And so most of the stuff that we're going to be using, guys, is in the manage inventory right here, right? This is where you add products. This is where you add variations. This is where you do a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about a little bit later on. We don't often use this pricing dashboard because you can actually just set the price in the edit screen, which is how I do it myself and how I teach people to do it. Orders you don't really use as often. This is more for what's called FBM, right? Fulfilled by merchant. If you're actually like shipping out like handmade towels or something from, wow, my examples are so bad. If you're shipping out like handmade pillows from your house, right, and you're shipping them out one at a time, then you might use manage orders more often, or if you have to deal with like customer service and stuff like that. But this is more so for FBM, which is fulfilled by merchant. We are all doing FBA, which is the much more scalable option, right? Because if you FBA stands for fulfilled by Amazon, and so what that means is if you sell 1 unit a day or you sell 1,000 units a day, Amazon will fulfill all of those for you. You don't have to go to FedEx or UPS and actually package all of this stuff yourself. And so we're not going to use orders too much. Advertising and inventory are definitely the two things that you're going to use most often. We're going to talk extremely in depth about the advertising section later on in the course when we actually go into marketing. We're going to talk about how to sell things via Amazon's internal platform, Amazon PPC. Right? We're going to talk about how to sell your products on Amazon with Instagram. We're going to talk about how to sell your products on Amazon with Facebook ads the best way. We're going to go super, super deep into marketing, and we'll tell you everything that you possibly need to know about that. This is just meant to be kind of a introduction to Seller Central, just so it doesn't look as overwhelming, right? And then obviously you have some reports here, which we're going to talk about later on, and then performance if you ever have any issues like with your account or claims or anything like that. And so that, guys, is the overall kind of little tutorial. Really quickly, I want to jump into the edit section because, again, this does look a little bit overwhelming for people when they first start out, but it's actually not that bad. Right, so this is where you put your title, very simple. This is where you put your manufacturer, your brand name, things like that. If you have any variations, but variations aren't available for this category, this is where you set your offer. If you want to put a sale price, right? If you want to say, well, it's normally $250, but we're going to have a sale price of $199, right? So Amazon would throw a strike through here, and this would be the final price that your customer would pay. Most of this stuff is inapplicable to these type of products. Like if you're selling things with lithium ion batteries and things like that, or if you have applicable dangerous goods regulations, right? But that's obviously not applicable for a ping pong table. This is where you put your images, very self-explanatory, obviously. Your description, right? These are kind of like the bullets that show on an Amazon listing and things like that. And so this is where you put search terms and things. And that's pretty much it, guys. It's very, very simple. And most of the time that we spend in Seller Central, again, will be in the inventory section and in the advertising section. So that is your overview for Seller Central, guys. And we'll see you on the next video.